Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you are here today, and I so appreciate you coming to watch my videos. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss any of my wig-related content. So today we are going to look at a brand new collection that is coming out on April the 25th from Estetica. This is their Swiss Lace Collection. I have 3 of the wigs. The only one that I don't have is Ember, which is the short one because I just don't wear short hair. So I have Ari, Lumi, and Shay. This is Shay that I am wearing. And I am going to talk to you about this new Swiss lace, what my opinions are, and we'll take a look at the cap construction and all of that all in one review. These wigs were sent to me by Shirley's Wig Shop. Don't forget that Shirley's has a really great private Facebook group. It's called Shirley's Wig Shop. Hair's looking at you, kid. I'll put a link in the description box for you to join the group. Okay, so first wig up is going to be Shay, and the color on Shay is Caramel Kiss. I'm gonna have to glance at my notes because I do have 3 wigs here for one review, so forgive me if I'm glancing down a few times. So as you can see, Shay is just a really, really cute mid-length style. Kind of reminds me of their Sky wig, which is one of my faves by Estetica. These are all regular synthetic fiber, and of course they have the addition of Swiss lace versus monofilament lace. So what is Swiss lace versus monofilament lace? So your monofilament lace, as you know, if you wear synthetic wigs, you know it's a heavier material. It still has a very fine, the little fibers are hand tied into the monofilament. They're hand tied into this Swiss lace as well. The biggest difference with the Swiss lace is lighter, and it's a little more fragile than your monofilament lace. But for those of you who have issues with monofilament lace, perhaps you find it itchy, perhaps it irritates your skin. I hear those kind of things in my comments all the time. Swiss lace is going to be very soft for you, and it's just very, very light, and you can just barely, you can't even feel it touching your head. It just feels super, super light. So cons for Swiss lace are the fact that it is more fragile. It also lifts a little more easily. So you can see that the lace is laying against my forehead very easily. You can also see the knots. You can see how nice those knots look on the Swiss lace. I like the knotting, the way the knotting is looking. But if I just barely tug on it, you can see how it lifts. So the little bit of a fear that I have for some of you is if you have had trouble with monofilament lace laying properly, you may have issues with the Swiss lace laying properly. Swiss lace is much more stretchy. I don't want to pull it too hard because I don't want to stretch it out, but you can just see, normally a monofilament lace doesn't stretch like it feels elasticy almost, and the Swiss lace does stretch. And we see Swiss lace construction on a lot of human hair wigs, and over time, it frays more easily and it can stretch out more easily. So those are some things that you're going to have to be cautious with. You're going to have to treat your Swiss lace with a little more loving care than your monofilament lace. If you are going to perhaps tape down your lace front like I like to do, you need to be really careful with your Swiss lace when you're taping it down and when you're removing it. So when you're removing it, you want to make sure that you use a Q-tip with some alcohol, gently go between the lace and the tape and break that bond, and just be super, super careful with the lace. So I'll show you this lace again, and we'll really talk about it. This lace front on Shay is not extended. It is extended on the other 2 wigs that I'll show you. So this lace front just goes from the top of the ear tabs to the top of the ear tabs. And then this one has a left lace, Swiss lace part that goes all the way back to the crown. Now, I am having some issues getting this part to lay open. I haven't used any heat on it, so I think that I do need to use a little heat on that. In fact, let me get my rat tail comb, because I can see it's gone right back, to the zigzag once again after I worked on it a little bit. I gently tried to get that open, but as you can see, the part is pretty tight. And when you're running your rat tail comb through this Swiss lace, you want to really be gentle so that you do not poke that rat tail right through the lace, because you don't want to tear your lace. I'm just telling you, this lace it holds up fine. I mean, it's on human hair wigs all the time, but if you're used to monofilament lace, on a synthetic wig, I'm just telling you, I want you to be gentle with this type of lace. If you're not used to, if you don't wear human hair and you've never worn Swiss lace before, I just want you to be careful with it. So there's the part. And then great coverage at the ear tabs. So the way that Shay is fitting me is pretty, it's kind of big on my petite head. I did have to bring the adjusters in, and that, before I brought the adjusters in, my lace was not laying down on my forehead. But once I brought the adjusters in, that made the lace lay down. So I was very happy about that. But it's fitting me okay ear to ear. It's probably just slightly long on the ear to ear, but that's really good because it does give you good coverage. It's still perfectly comfortable on me ear to ear, but I'm only 11 ear to ear, so I am petite. But you can see how that's laying. So if you have hair there, you're gonna have great coverage. And this is considered average. It's not considered petite. So I would expect it to be a little large on me. And then forehead to nape, there's definitely a lot of extra room. And like I said, this cap is so light and airy. I could take a finger and flick it off. I mean, it is so light, which I love. I love a light, airy cap, especially as we are moving into the warmer months. They're so comfortable. So, and then I did have to bring in the adjusters on my 21-inch circumference. Okay, so the measurements for Shay are 8 inches in the bang, 8.5 inches at the sides, 11.5 inches from the crown with a 6-inch nape. And the weight is 3.88 ounces. Okay, so here is that lace part that goes all the way to the crown. And then the lace front, as I mentioned, it just goes from the ear tabs to the ear tabs. I want you to see, do you see how like light, you can see that this is lighter, it's stretchier, although I don't want to stretch it too much, but you know, monofilament lace doesn't really tend to have any stretch to it, but Swiss lace will stretch just a little tiny bit. And that's why you want to be careful with it, because you don't want to stretch it out. Up here is just closed lace, and I'm not feeling any permatease. We've got ear tabs with a metal stay, open wefted cap, extended open wefted nape with hook adjusters, and you can see I did bring my adjusters in for my circumference. And then this is regular synthetic fiber. It is not heat friendly. Okay, so let's take a look at this color. This is the Caramel Kiss. This is not the Caramel Kiss Rooted. I decided to do the Caramel Kiss this time because I was finding that the last time I tried Caramel Kiss Rooted, I just felt like the root was too dark for me. So I wanted to do just the regular Caramel Kiss. It's just a really, really pretty golden brown that has a light copper blonde highlight. Really pretty color. It's warm. And I'll show it to you in some different lighting as well. So no rooting. Here's Caramel Kiss in light coming through my window. You can see the part a little better here too. And because Caramel Kiss has blonde and the brunette in it, you can use some makeup to, make your part not look, not have that kind of stripy look. But part of that also is that I still am struggling with getting that part completely opened. I just think I need to use a little low heat on it. Okay, so I'm under my patio cover. I'll step into the sun. Okay, so Shay is going to be very easy to tuck behind the ears because she is a very low natural density. So glasses are going to be super easy with those thin ear tabs. Go up on your head very easily. A headband will work nicely. She does have a bit of a face swap issue that you're going to have to deal with when you first get her. Typical of a straight, lob, bob type style. So, but that's nothing that you can't just work with, with some low heat, that type of thing. So she will go half up, half down. And with a 6-inch nape, there's barely enough for a little tiny pony, but you could make it work if you wanted to try that. Okay, let's move on to the next wig. Okay, so the next two have the exact same cap construction, so I'm going to show it to you one time rather than repeating it for each wig. So this one is Ari. This is a kind of shoulder length wavy style, and then Lumi is going to be a short bob. Of course, I'll try it on, you'll be able to see the wig, but they both have full mono tops with the Swiss lace front. So here's the full mono top. That's going to allow you to part the wig wherever you'd like. And then we have the Swiss lace for the lace front, and it is extended on both of these, as you can see. So should give you a really, really nice hairline. And I don't know, since it's extended and maybe because it's attached to the monotop, it doesn't feel quite as stretchy. We'll see how it is, you know, when I put it on and everything. But so soft ear tabs with metal stays, open wefted cap, open wefted extended nape with the hook adjusters, and synthetic fibers on both of these that are not, none of these are heat friendly. So this is just regular synthetic fiber. Okay, so here's Ari on. Really cute, as you can see, just a wavy style that goes right to the shoulders, does brush the shoulders just a little bit. The color on this one is the RH1488 RT4. So we'll cover that in just a moment. Really cute with just a soft wave going through it. Pretty style. Okay, so this one, you've got monofilament lace on the top, but the Swiss lace in the front. And one thing that I noticed when I put this one on is this one does not feel as loose. This one doesn't feel loose on my forehead at all. This is really fitting nicely to my forehead. I don't know if that's because it has the monofilament top, and so it's supporting the Swiss lace better, or if it's that the Swiss lace is extended. But either way, I am liking the way that this lace is laying better on this particular one on my head. So here are the knots for this 1488 RT4. It has a 4 root. So even with those with a darker root, I still think the knots look pretty good. And then the part on this one was not zigzagged, it was open. So looks really good as well. You can get a better idea of what the part looks like. And I cannot see a difference between the Swiss lace and the mono. I was really, really studying the part before I put this one on, and I was like, oh, it just, so I'm not seeing like a, you know, a transition. There's a tiny little seam, one of those little strips on the inside, you know, but it's really, really translucent. So I hope it's not going to be an issue for you. So then I'll show you the coverage at the ear tabs. Now this cap feels a little smaller and a little more snug on my head than the Shay wig did. So that's kind of interesting. So ear to ear is fitting me fine. But again, I have great coverage at the ear tabs. This is also considered average. All of these are average size. And then there's a little extra room, which I would expect from an average size cap on my petite head. And then it's fitting me nicely in the circumference. I have a feeling these adjusters were already pulled in. I'm gonna have to double check that. I didn't pay attention before I put it on my head, but this one's fitting really nice, like the adjusters were already pulled in. Okay, so the measurements for Ari are 9 inches in the bang, 9 inches on the side, 10.25 inches from the crown, with a 7-inch nape, so just 1 inch longer nape than Shay had. And weight is 4.13 ounces. So I've already shown you the cap construction, so we'll go right into talking about the color on this one. So this is the RH1488 RT4. As you can see, it's a beautiful dimensional blonde. I still consider it to be warm, mostly warm to neutral, I guess I would say. It's not like super golden, super warm. There's a little bit of a cooler tone going through it, but really, really pretty. So its description is a dark blonde with lightest blonde highlights and golden brown roots. So I don't know how golden I would consider that for. I would say it's more of just a neutral root. And then, of course, you'll see that rooting anywhere you separate the hair. So with styling, you know, if you pull it off the face, you're going to see that rooting there. So anytime you put the hair up, you'll see the rooting. So here we are in window lighting. You can see the variation with the blondes. Here's the root color. Still don't really think the root looks gold to me, but I'll see when I edit what I think. But there's the knots. Here we are outside under my patio cover with a very Tweety bird in the background. Still not really seeing gold in that root, but it doesn't look as dark in this outside lighting, so. We can look at styling. I just want to say again, I'm really loving how this lace is laying. Really, really thrilled about that, you know, because I was a little concerned with the other one that the lace was just, seemed really soft and lifted really easily on me. So, okay. Again, no permatease that I'm not feeling permatease anywhere. I have to double check. I think there was a little bit at the nape. I'll pop it off and double check that for y'all. But basically, you know, a nice natural density. Glasses are no problem. You could style her with a headband. And remember, you can part this wherever you like. I do need to show y'all that. I don't think I really think I showed you the part, but I didn't show you the whole monotop. Doing 3 wigs in one review, sometimes my brain goes a little crazy. Plus, my brain is already crazy right now because of everything I'm going through just in life in general. So, but she looks cute with a headband. You could also, you know, pull it back. You may have to smash it down with wavy wigs. A lot of times you have to smash it down a little bit to pull it back. And then this one had a 7-inch nape. So a little more here to do maybe a little pony or a little twist. I do think these front layers are going to want to come down. I'm sorry, but this looks like a longer. I think there's a slightly, like this doesn't look like 9 inches. I didn't measure it, but there could be just a little bit shorter layer there, and you could shorten that probably to get a bang if you wanted to. But, you know, a little twist, you could do a little updo with it. It's nice that it has an extended nape also. So let me pop this one off real quick and just double check. Yeah, so a little bit of teasing at the nape, but it's not bad. And those adjusters are not pulled in. So this one is fitting a little bit smaller. The monotop one is fitting a little bit smaller. We'll see what. Okay, so last but not least, this is Lumi. So this is the cute little razor cut bob. Chin length, easy length to wear. I love that. Now she does have a little bit of box hair. Let me show you the form. So she's packaged on this large form, which I don't think did her any favors over here. I think it caused a little bit of crimping. I understand they're trying to keep the fibers really straight, but I don't know. There's just a little bit of cold crimp in it. And this one is, again, it's that full mono top with the Swiss lace front. So I'll show you again, the part was not zigzagged. So part looks really, really good. And on this one, I will show you how you can change the part, since I forgot to do that on the other one. But, you know, you can just move your part over if you'd like to. And then this one again, with this full mono top, this Swiss lace is laying really, really nicely without me bringing in the adjusters. So I'm feeling like, you know, unless it's just a fluke on my Shay, the Shay with the left mono part is running larger than these two that have the mono top. So, but the caps have a lot of stretch. So that's a good thing. So this is R812, by the way. I didn't mention the color. And so these are just pure brunette roots, and I think they look pretty good on that Swiss lace. Again, the Swiss lace is extended on this one. It's very soft. It's not the least bit itchy. And I actually usually tape down my lace fronts on synthetics in particular because the lace is itchy on me, the monofilament lace, and this is not itching at all, which I love. I think for the summer, this Swiss lace is going to be really cool and really, really comfortable. I'm excited about it. I hope that you guys like it too. So here's the coverage I have at the ear tabs, fitting me, and this one does have this little bang layer, by the way, so you can see that if you want to add more bang, you could probably shorten that. So you can see I've got great coverage at the ear tabs. So really, really nice. So fitting me well, you know, nicely ear to ear. And I would say it's fitting me like an average because it's not a short, you know, like a petite fit. It's a regular fit where I have good coverage there, you know, so if you have hair there, it's going to cover really nicely. And then forehead to nape, fitting really nicely with the, but you know, a little extra room, but it still works on my petite head. And then I did not have to bring in the adjusters for this one. So fit on this one is really, really nice. Okay, so the measurements, They say 8.25 here in the front. Like I said, I did not measure this, but I guess that does look like it could be about 8 inches, but you can shorten that. And it is gonna face swap a little bit initially, I think, you know, typical to a straight synthetic hair wig style, you are gonna get some face swapping, so you will have to train that away from your face. You can use some low heat on it. You can also, you know, get it wet, use some low heat, pin it back to help, you know, get that away from your face. Or if you want to, you could shorten that bang and give yourself more of a side bang. So, sorry, I got distracted. 8.25 inches on the bang. The side measurement is 5.75 inches. The crown measurement is 9 inches. The nape is 2 inches. So it is a shorter nape, giving it just a chin length, you know, look. The weight on it is 3.24 ounces. So really, really nice. Really, really cute. Okay, so let's talk about this beautiful color. So this is one of my favorite brunettes from them. That's why I ordered this one in this brunette. This is the R812. So this is I would say a warm to neutral tone. I would not describe it as cool. They describe it as a golden brown with a light brown blend. It's just a very natural looking brunette. For those of you that have, you know, solid brunette hair, no highlights, because it has a light brown blend in it, it does, you know, reflect a little bit of dimension. But again, it just stays completely in the brunette range. So here is R812 in window lighting. Really, really pretty. Show you the knots in this lighting and the part. Okay, here we are under my patio cover. I'll step into the sun. See that part? Here's the knots. Okay, so this one should be very easy to tuck behind the ears. No permatease again, very natural density. Glasses go up on your head very easily. This is one way that you could style her, is just to tuck her behind the ears, and that looks really cute. Headbands are easy, of course, especially when you're training those fibers, you know, when they're flopping a little bit. And of course, with this one, you could pull that layer out if you want to on one or both sides, depending on where you're parting, since it's a full mono top, and you can choose wherever you'd like to part. Let's see. 5.75, okay. It feels like we can get part of the side back, and then part of that bang is gonna wanna come out. So if you want, you know, full sides pulled back, I would just bobby pin right behind the ear. Or again, use a headband. And then this one with a 2-inch nape, we won't be doing any, you know, updos or anything, but you could certainly take advantage of your beautiful lace front and clip it back like that. So, beautiful, beautiful styles. Like I said, these will begin to ship on April 25th. And so get your pre-orders in now at Shirley's. I will put a link down below for each wig so that you can pre-order the styles. I'll also have links that will save you some money on these styles as well. Those links that I have are affiliate links. I don't earn commission, but they do offer you a 30% discount, I'm pretty sure it is. And I will also put a link down there to the Shirley's Wig Shop Hair's Looking at You private Facebook group. So I thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. I hope I have educated you on the difference between this Swiss lace versus the monofilament lace. I am really excited about this lace. Like I said, particularly for those of you who are sensitive to monofilament lace, I think this is really, really great. So thanks so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, don't forget, you're absolutely beautiful. Bye-bye.